As the President of the United States, you shake hands with lots of people. Often important people. Sometimes even a couple of people at once. Tricky. Anyway, it was this handshake that shook everyone up last week. When US President Donald Trump caught up with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, it was more than just two leaders meeting. It was, in fact, the first time any sitting US president has ever met a North Korean leader. And the meeting was an even bigger deal because these two former enemies made a deal.
Okay.
You see that document they're signing? It has a lot to do with these. For the past couple of decades, North Korea's been working on building and even testing nuclear weapons. That's kind of scary and a big no-no when it comes to international law. You see, after the Second World War, when the first ever atomic bomb was detonated, many countries started developing their own nuclear weapons. The idea was that to stay safe, they had to be as well armed as everyone else. But the trouble with that plan was pretty obvious. If anyone actually used their nuclear weapons and, say, a world war broke out, it could end up being a threat to all of humankind. That's why in 1968, many countries signed an agreement to stop making, buying or using nuclear weapons. Eventually, nearly every country in the world signed, including North Korea. But in the early 2000s, it became the only country to back out. And since then, it's made it clear it's not exactly against nuclear weapons. Of course, North Korea isn't the only country that has them. At least 8 others do too, especially Russia and the US, which have thousands of nuclear weapons. But no other country has been publicly making, testing, or threatening to use them. Now that could be set to change. Recently, North Korea's been showing it wants a more peaceful relationship with its neighbours and other countries, including the US. And that leads us here to this meeting and that document. It's not very long, but it basically says North Korea is going to work towards total denuclearization, a big word for getting rid of nuclear weapons. And that the US and North Korea will work towards peace and friendship. While that sounds great, not everyone's convinced. North Korea's made this kind of deal with the US before.
I am pleased that the United States and North Korea yesterday reached agreement.
And it didn't really work out. Some also say Mr. Trump was sending the wrong message by meeting with Kim Jong-un and paying him respect. The North Korean leader's been accused of some pretty terrible things, and his government denies its citizens a lot of basic rights. But others, including both leaders, say it's a step in the right direction.
Anyone can make war, but only the most courageous can make peace.
So while it's see you later for now, the world will be watching these two leaders to see where their new relationship takes them.